Go.
Friends, task 2, rubric 10, prompt 5. This is the culminating experience of your task 2 instructional journey. In this particular response, you're analyzing the effectiveness of your teaching. You do this on a regular basis, a daily basis, possibly even an hour-by-hour basis, where you are looking at the learning that has occurred in your classroom and trying to make a determination of what you could do to better serve your students. The reason we do this work, our K-12 learners and 4K learners for some of our early childhood friends as well. In this particular set of responses, you're looking at the changes you would make in your instruction to better support student learning in relation to the central focus. So I'm going to break down some key concepts here that'll help you engage with this prompt as well as the rubric. When they're talking about changes, these are changes that would be either from the video clips that you've shared for this part of your ITPA. It could also be in parts of the lesson that the video clips came from that are not pictured in the video clips. So for example, if you have one of your video clips from lesson 2 and another video clip from lesson 4, these proposed changes can be at any point in lesson 2 or any point in lesson 4. They don't need to be captured in the specific video clip that you're sharing. If you are drawing from different parts of the lesson that aren't in the video clip, you'll just want to say that in your response. If you are referring to parts of the lesson that are in the video clip though, you'll want to give those timestamps and the video clip number just as you would in any of the other responses for task 2. So what changes in the video clips or the lessons that the video clips are from would you make to your instruction to better support learning related to the central focus? So in order to get a 3 or above on this particular rubric, the changes that you propose need to focus on learning related to the central focus. So if you're focusing specifically on giving better directions or the way that students are grouped or moved in the classroom, that likely will not be enough, especially if you're not going to be able to directly connect it to learning related to the central focus. So it's much more likely that you'll want to really think through your central focus and the learning that is necessary for students to engage with that and think about changes related to that more specifically. So I'll share an example from elementary literacy. So an example is, in video clip 1, I missed the opportunity of asking higher order questions as we discussed the characters. To enhance my students' learning, I would lead them to use higher order thinking skills by asking questions like, how is character A different from character B? Why do you think so? In what ways were the characters similar? How will you compare and contrast these two characters? So with the proposed change here, we can see that it doesn't just focus on procedure, it focuses more on the quality of the teaching. So by focusing more on those higher order questions, then allowing the students in this classroom to better learn related to the central focus. When you're answering this question, consider the needs of all children. You'll notice on your commentary template that there's that gray box that asks you to think specifically about the needs of students who have an IEP or a 504, perhaps students who are accelerated learners, students who are English language learners or emergent bilinguals, struggling readers, or students with gaps in academic knowledge. So think specifically about those students, and perhaps there are changes that you could make to your instruction in those lessons or the places where your video clips are that would help support their learning related to the central focus. If so, identify what those changes would be and indicate it in your response to this first part of the prompt. Now, moving to the second part of the prompt. This is the secondary criteria for this particular rubric, meaning you can get a 3 by answering this question strongly and maybe not doing the best job here. If you want to move from a 3 to a 4 or a 5, you really want to rock this one out. So here you're providing a rationale, similar to what you do often in your lesson plans for a formal observation or possibly in a reflection that you do after a formal observation. So you're accustomed to this as well. You have experience doing this. So thinking about the changes that you propose here, and why do you think these changes would improve children's learning? So either thinking about evidence of children's learning. So for example, if maybe you've implemented these changes previously and they've proved effective, or if you have a research article that you've read that you could cite there as well, showing that based on this change, it's likely that students or children's learning would occur, and or principles from theory or research. So possibly thinking back to some of your methods coursework and thinking through what is a theoretical or research-based reason or rationale why you think the changes that you're proposing would actually be effective in improving children's learning. Once you've completed this, task 2, the sun has set. A new day will begin next Monday with task 3. Be prepared for more videos, more joy, and lots more typing.